As a coach, consultant, business owner, or entrepreneur, do you find yourself wishing that if only you got access to a particular solution or an opportunity, it would transform your life and your business completely? Hi, Parul Bankai here, storytelling coach and keynote speaker. What if, say, as a coach, you want to overcome your fear of public speaking, and suddenly you are presented with a solution, a product, or a service that will help you achieve exactly that? What if, say, as a coach, you want to design your signature program so that you can stop working on an hourly basis and you run into a mentor who specializes in designing signature programs? What if you want to gain the self-belief that your message is ready and good enough to be shared with the rest of the world so that you can go out and do that YouTube live or Facebook live video that you have been wanting to do since such a long time to build your own tribe? And you run into a coach who specializes in exactly this solution. The logic says that when you run into the solution that you have been looking for, you should grab that opportunity with both hands. But in reality, you know what happens? More often than not, you say, "No, thank you." That doesn't make sense, does it? Well, actually, it does. There are various reasons why you would say no to the exact same solution that will help you move from where you are to where you want to be. You might think that it is the lack of funds, lack of money, or you don't have enough time, or you don't have support from other people. As a coach, I like to challenge that story. I like to challenge that premise. Lack of money, lack of support, lack of time. That's often the tip of the iceberg. What is actually happening, and the tricky thing is, you don't even know that this is what is really going on. There is a deeper story that you're telling yourself. And that story, that deeper story, often is on the lines of, I am not worthy of making this investment of time, effort, and asking for the support to build the life I want to build. Ugh. And because deep down, deep within you, you do not consider yourself worthy of making that investment, or there is a story that's running in your mind that's getting in the way of you arranging those funds, that time, freeing up that time, taking that support, getting the help that you want to build the business or the life you want, you would always never take the action that you should be taking. I'm reminded of this extremely talented man that I know of. He is somebody who grew up with the messaging that you wouldn't be able to do this. So when he was a little boy, his dad, who was in his thoughts trying to help him become a strong boy who would get ready for the big bad world, he would tell him, "Oh, you wouldn't be able to do that." In his mind, he thought he was challenging his son because dad was this dominating, a bit aggressive man. That was his way of helping his son become the man he wanted him to become. And mom, because dad was a bit aggressive, he was a bit dominating, she wanted to balance it out and say, "Oh, my baby, of course you won't be able to do it. Let me do this for you." So irrespective of the intention that this person grew up with, the messaging that he kept getting was, "You won't be able to do this." And he heard it throughout his childhood, his teenage, until the time he actually left home and went to the university. And then his parents stopped telling him that he wouldn't be able to do things, whatever he wanted to do on his own, because he wasn't living with them anymore. But guess what? He didn't need to be told that anymore, because now he would repeat the same story to himself every single time. So throughout his university years and even later when he was working, he could never ask a girl out, somebody who he truly liked. When he joined work, he could never ask for time off. And whatever leave he had, the official leave, that would just expire. He wouldn't use it. He could, even as an adult, when he was alone at home, you can trust him to fix a meal for himself, even when he was, let's say, 20 or 25. Because whenever he had to do something, there's a story that would run in his head which would tell him, you cannot do it. And that's what happens due to the conditioning that we acquire, our social, cultural conditioning, and the stories that we acquire and our life experiences. That's his story. That was his story. And this man is actually a brilliant man academically, and he's really, really intelligent. But his story of, I cannot do this, you won't be able to do this, always got in his way to achieve what he wanted to achieve. Until one day he actually met somebody and he happened to share it with them. And then this person said, but that's not true. Why won't you be able to do what you want to do? And that was a big light bulb moment for them, a big aha moment. It wasn't about the skills. It wasn't about the money. It wasn't about the support. It wasn't about the time. It was about them and the story that they had been living for the past about 30 years of their life. And that was a huge game changer for them. From suddenly a person who wouldn't be able to do what they wanted to do, they were open to the idea that no, that's not true. It is someone else's version of their story. And so they worked hard on rewiring this story from I can't to I can. And now they are a successful business owner and they help people do great things, set up great businesses serving this world. And that's exactly where my work comes into picture, helping you rewire your story from I can't to I can. I do have a proven process that I take people through. It's a 5-step process, and the first step is gaining clarity, because if you don't know where you want to go, you won't really know when you arrive there. So gaining clarity on what you want to achieve, setting explicit goals so that we can take very clear action to get you where you want to get. Step number 2, helping you harness your strengths. So it's not about helping you become better at your areas for improvement. No, all of us are naturally good at certain things. My coaching is all about helping you harness your strengths so that you shine your light. Step number 3. Strengths is great, clarity is great, but you know what? I have been conditioned by my life so far to get in my own way. So what happens when one of those fears hit me? What if I start rolling back into my self-sabotage behaviors? What if that I can't do it comes up? Well, I give you effective tools to actually demolish those fears. Step number 4. Well, this is great. I know my strengths. I'm working on them. I'm using them. I know how to take care of my self-sabotage patterns. But when I'm working on creating a life, let's say, or building my dream, building a new business, it is not going to be a hunky-dory, linear progress. There will be times when you would hit a bump in the road and you would slide back into the ditch where you were. How do you manage your state then? How do you manage yourself psychologically, emotionally, socially, even physically? Because what we don't want is you sliding back into that ditch and staying there. You should be able to pick yourself up and move forward again. So managing your state. And step number 5, as a storytelling coach, I help you write a tangible story. I help you look at the entire life you have lived and come up with a story that you can share, or multiple stories that you can share to communicate, to connect, and to earn credibility amidst your tribe. And so that's the work I do. Help you gain clarity, help you harness your strengths, help you demolish your fears and sabotage, self-sabotage patterns, helping you learn how to manage your state, and actually helping you with a story. So instead of saying, da 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 da, I do this, and responding to a question of, let's say, what do you do? In a rather rambling manner, you get a tangible story to connect with your tribe, to build that credibility, to go out and position yourself as a subject matter expert. Why? Because underneath there's a story that we have rewired from I can't to I can. And so, if you have a dream that you want to achieve, but something keeps getting in the way, there is a high likelihood that there is a story that you're telling yourself. And I would love to help you change that. My contact details are below. Get in touch, book your free discovery call with me, and let's rework on the story such that it builds you up and not pulls you down. I'll see you there.